Hi there, Craig is my name. I have a very interesting story which I will attempt to condense and tell now. My story is an Indian story, and it's a story of India, it's a story of travel, it's a story of wine, it's a story of discovery, I guess. Nearly 20 years I have been in this country, 17 to be exact, and in one way, shape or form, wine has been at the center of that time in this wonderful country. Now, from a viewpoint of what is wine, I mean, there's so many aspects of it. From an educational viewpoint, from a drinking viewpoint, from lifestyle viewpoint, all of these things are encompassed into the one topic, that is wine. I guess one of the most important aspects of the topic and the subject is where I've seen it come from to where it is now over those last 17 years. When I first arrived in India in 2006, wine was a scary prospect for a lot of people, not only from a service viewpoint and the staff who were trying to relay a message to the consumer, but the consumer as well didn't really know what was in the bottle. Labels scared them. People don't like to look foolish, I understand that. And in those days, not knowing what that label said or what was in the bottle was kind of a daunting prospect for a lot of people. Jump forward 17 years, and here we are in 2024, and wine, like other beverage, but for the sake of this discussion, wine is at a pivotal point, I guess, of understanding the art of the table. As food has evolved, as ingredients have evolved, as people's understanding of what constitutes a good meal has evolved, so too have all the ancillary parts of that equation. With good food, you need good wine. With good wine, you need good conversation. With good conversation, you of course need good company. Those things have evolved quite incredibly over the last 17 years that I've been in this country, to the point now where it matters. Wine is relevant, great food is relevant, and conversation is always relevant. To the point now where specialists are required. How do you communicate a message? How do you communicate context? How do you communicate what's in the bottle? That's where we rely on, let's call them specialists for the sake of this discussion. We require special people with specialized skills in order to communicate a very simple message. The most important aspect of wine is its simplicity. The thing we try to do too often is we try to complicate it and make it too technical. Wine is one of the oldest beverages on the planet, second to mead. So it's been around for thousands upon thousands of years. The process hasn't changed that much, to be honest. It's only evolved. So too has the evolution of communication with the product in India evolved. So we find ourselves now requiring these wonderful sorts of people to extol the virtues of what's in the bottle. So we require what we call sommeliers, wine specialists, beverage specialists. A sommelier is not only focused on wine, they're focused on spirits, on cocktails, on beverages, on what that wine goes with, what sort of food it goes with, what sort of cheese it goes with. Does it go with a cigar? Does it go with chocolate? All of these questions that customers have, a sommelier or wine person has the answer for. That's important. Now, a sommelier is not a wine expert. A sommelier is not a connoisseur, a sommelier is I guess a conduit to awareness for customers. So for me, the most important aspect of that person being asked the question is how they give the answer. For me, wine is never technical. Wine is, again, for my job, even today, after all these years of being in the industry, my job is still to make people aware. It's never to educate. It's always to make them aware of what's in the bottle, to make them aware of the decision they're making is good, bad, or indifferent, and I guess to arm them and to arm them with knowledge. Knowledge that hasn't come from me, but knowledge has come from their own experiences. That's key to what it's all about. So as a sommelier, it's a very, very important aspect of modern India, and modern India from a culinary viewpoint and a dining experience viewpoint. It's a very pivotal role in hospitality in this country. And hospitality, if you haven't noticed, you've just got to walk around all of the precincts that are full of restaurants and bars, and you will see that what I have seen over the last 17 years, India is now. Restaurants, food, culture, all of those things are happening in India. It's the place to be. We know that in the outside world, India is the place to be. We've just got to understand it. For us being here, we need to embrace that concept and run with it as well. So for my role, we need wine specialists. We need lots of people jumping on the bandwagon, and I guess helping us to grow this incredible business around the